Is your culture a set of shared value, or is it just a cage for anyone who thinks different? Let me know what you think. In order to expose these leaders, we have to have an ethics of being unafraid, of being responsible, and accepting the consequences that come with it. And we have to refuse to sell the soul. A true leader knows that integrity is more valuable than convenience. But in the US, we see moral recession. Leaders are often selling their dignity for a quarterly bonus, for comfort, for a new house, for a new car, for bonus, for money. They do it to seat at a prestigious table, or the comfort to staying in the crowd of elites. They have become afraid to lose. A real leader, however, is unafraid to lose their position in order for the vast majority to win. They do not sell their ethics over convenience or fame, and we need more of these leaders in our country. What we're seeing today is the psychological betrayal of dignity happening slowly in front of us. It starts with going along to becoming one of them, almost like going along to get along, to become get introduced into that circle. But then it ends with a total abandonment of a moral compass. This is what we call moral disengagement. Leaders convince themselves that their business life, where they lie and exploit, is separate from their personal life, where they are good people, quote unquote. But character is not divisible. If you are a liar at the office, an abuser, a harasser in the office, you are a liar, an abuser and a harasser anywhere you go. You cannot separate yourself into two entities. You are what you are based on your behaviors, your decisions, and what you want to become responsible. Let's have a reality check here. 59% of employees report feeling burnout, specifically due to ineffective or unsupportive leadership. This burnout isn't just about workload. It's about the soul-crushing experience of working for someone who doesn't stand for anything besides themselves, and you're just a tool in the agenda to achieve that. I'll give you a good example. Let's go back to the Roman time. Marcus Aurelius, which most of you must be familiar with. He was a Roman emperor, which provides the ultimate contrast. During the Antonine Plague, he didn't flee to save a villa. He stayed in Rome, led the people through the crisis, and even sold the imperial furniture to pay for the war effort rather than overtaxing the citizens. He refused to sell his dignity for comfort. Marcus Aurelius understood that the people's lives not only depended on his decision, but he understood what's the point of being an emperor if you have no people to serve. We should contrast this with modern CEOs who take $20 million bonuses while laying off 10,000 employees to optimize the stock price. What is the price tag of your integrity? Is it a six-figure salary or a corner office at a Ivy League university? What is the price of people that you serve? And because we're talking about this topic, I wish we create a new blueprint for American leadership. We are seeing the results of this leadership vacuum across the country. High burnout, the great resignation, and a total collapse on trust of the institution. The Ivy League model of elite management has failed to produce integral leaders. With this, I'm not saying that they are leaders with integrity that comes from Ivy League, but the vast majority, the ones that are leading the country, corporations, CEO, can you attest to their moral value? In order for us to fix this, we have to stop hiring for prestige. We need to start hiring for distant travel and moral courage. People that can see beyond numbers, people that can relate to others and make them grow, people that can recognize talents and place them in the right place, people that understand people and the need of serving them for everyone's growth. Just think about this. 90% of employees who quit say their boss was their major influence. 90%. Nearly 47% of people who quit actually love their job. They just couldn't, but they left because they just couldn't stand the person leading them. So what is this statistic telling us? We must move from transactional leadership, almost like that mindset, I pay you so you obey, almost like some sort of enslavery mechanism. We need to move into transformational leadership, more of a mindset of we have to grow together. We're in this to win, all of us. If one of us doesn't win, we're not all winning. But what is this going to require? We have to change the narrative and the perspective of how we view possible leadership candidates. We need to start valuing the person who worked 3 jobs to graduate from a state university over the person with a legacy or Ivy League legacy admission. And why we have to value this is because the person that had 3 jobs and went to school, they became more solution oriented. Nothing was handed for them. They understand what it is to struggle, the hustle, He understands the people because he worked among people. He struggled among people. He was tired. He sacrificed. He was in pain. He suffered through the whole journey. He understands what it is to achieve a higher goal, but he understands the process of doing it. And that builds integrity. That builds resilience. That builds self-love and confidence. And more importantly, competency to put yourself in other people's shoes. But if you come from an Ivy League stance, what is it that you know? How can you put yourself in the shoes of something you've never been and you never struggled? We have to have a 360-degree accountability, making leadership promotion contingent on the approval of the people below them. Think about this. Think about how this would change everything, because most leaders get designed to new leadership position or promotion by leaders on top of them. Leaders that don't see what that daily interaction looks like. They don't understand what's going on in the trenches. But if we change the narrative into that people chooses the promotion of their leader, we will be changing the moral setting, because the accountability is going to make leaders responsible of not only achieving all these personal and professional goals, but treating people as people, because it's part of the resume. Today, part of the resume is just get my KPIs. We just want to reach goals. And that's all that matters, because there is no such accountability. People will abuse the system. And that's exactly what the people have become, an abuse in the system. If we adopt the Socrates model, integrating ethics and integrity and philosophy as mandatory KPI, and these things can be measured as well. Imagine if a leader's bonus was tied to their mental health score rather than just the stock price. If we made empathy, integrity, dignity, responsibility, respect, value, morals, and ethics a mandatory KPI for all CEOs in America, how many of them will be unemployed by Friday? And I want to leave you with that. How many of you, due to your integrity, leadership, ownership, responsibility, have been stopped being promoted because of the unethical behaviors of those above you? Maybe it's time we speak up. We speak up not to promote chaos, but to promote accountability and fairness, justice, and also love and dignity. It's time to change. It's never late to make these changes. We just gotta become one, unite, and even if we fear, be brave enough to withstand the storm that comes from change. Thank you. See you next time. You're loving the Ethics Guild podcast? Don't want to miss any new episodes? Want to be part of our panel and be our guest? Subscribe, leave us a comment, be part of the community of the Ethics Guild podcast. We need more people we need people that are brave to speak up for what's right, to stand for justice and dignity. Become one of us. Be part of the Ethics Guild podcast community, and let's journal to endless possibility where we all become winners. Don't forget, subscribe.